It looks like there's a Frenchman on the side of the stage who looks like he's coming up to entertain us. The Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. A ukulele has arrived. Monty Python, The Life of Brian, Python songs, and a little movie that came together on Saturday Night Live. There's a British expression, this seems like a bad word to say in America, but it's not in England. They call it taking the piss. It was a group of people of Eric Idle from Monty Python, and this next gentleman, and a few others, and just taking the piss on the entire Beatles mythology. And it went over so well, and they had so much fun, they said, why don't we just make an entire movie about this fictitious band called the Rutles? And the point is that the music was absolutely fantastic. Please welcome to the stage our next guest, Mr. Neil Innes.
I keep telling myself I'm all right.
How's it go? How's it working?
Well, yeah, a mind game. No, but yeah, it's always great being here, but it is, you know, it is very much a full-on weekend, but it's one of the best weekends in the world anywhere, you know. And it's just wonderful to see generations again, kids playing guitars out there and everyone singing and doing. I don't think we appreciate just how much the Beatles meant to us all, you know? We're closer to the Beatles than we think. It's part of our DNA, you know, that kind of glue. It reminds us that we are social creatures. You know, we belong around the campfire singing things.
Exactly. And socially, there's an interesting story. There's a documentary on Netflix called The Impact of the Beatles. It's how the Beatles changed the world. And a writer, is a friend, Anthony Curtis from Rolling Stone, made a point. I mentioned it earlier today. And I never thought of it. I mean, I guess I knew it, but didn't really get a sense of it. You know, Elvis had a pompadour, these peg-leg pants, had a look. Every generation had teenagers who had a look. And the adults would laugh and go, look at that crazy clothes. The Beatles come along, and as we get to the late 60s, the world follows them. You've got 45-year-old stockbrokers now with long hair, wearing paisley ties and purple jackets and Beatle boots. It never happened before that the adult culture went, you gotta follow the kids. When did that ever happen? Ever since?
Well, one can only hope it will happen again.
Yes.
Because the kids are making good noises.
Amen to that.
Timely noises. But, you know, I think as long as it's within living memory, you know, that we are at our best sometimes when things get bad. You know, I think, excuse me being scholarly, but Plato, hymn of Socrates' buddyhood, said that the only way that tyranny can take place is when democracies become complacent. And I think, you know, we all agree, we've let things slip a bit. You know, it's not just that, certainly in Britain we have. It's out of control. We've got strangeness going on from government, and I don't think you're too distant from that situation here either. You know, but I'm not going to get down on one side or the right side, but at the end of the day, something's got to be true.
Well, for me, the Beatles always challenged the status quo.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing they did, was shake up the world. They made it color from black and white, and you know, there's never more color. Just look at the lights going on the ceiling right now. Those are appropriate lights for the Fest for Beatle fans. give me another scenario where that should be going in the ceiling when we're talking about music. They brought color back to the world. And it's one of my favorite stories that Neil Innes has ever told, is that they're in Abbey Road and they're recording, and Paul McCartney walks in the studio and says, "Hey, son, what are you working on? You remember this? You remember the song you were working on?"
Well, yeah, it was a thing called My Brother Makes the Noises for the Talkies. No, but it was slightly like that. But I went to listen to them.
Oh, okay.
And they were doing George's I Want to Tell You. And all that kind of thing. I hadn't heard anything like it, you know. Because we were having great fun finding these old records from the 20s and the 30s where, you know, the terrible depression and everything else, there was a great sense of humour. Songs like The Stalkers Brought a Son and Daughter to Mr. and Mrs. Mickey Mouse. You know, and Jollity Farm, and Hunting Tigers out in India, and things like that, and Ali Baba's Camel. And we just found these things, and we were making a thing called My Brother Makes the Noises for the Talkies. And the story goes, you know, that I went to listen to this thing, and I said, why am I going back into the studio and going, My Brother Makes Noises for the Talkies? You know, in the same week that they were doing that. So, I mean, they were well ahead of the game. No one had ever achieved the popularity, never mind what populist politicians try to do, or the media that feeds them. They genuinely, you know, caught people's imaginations and their emotions. And as Derek Taylor, the press agent, said, you know, a lot of people said, oh, the Beatles caught the bus. He said, no, the Beatles were the bus.
Well said. There's a great moment that I've learned in this past year. I've been doing these podcasts, like Ken Dashow's Beatles Revolution. You guys are so kind to actually listen to this crazy stuff. But rather than me just blabbering, I love having guests. When Neil comes up to the station next week, we're going to do one, and all this is getting information about music. And Steve Hackett was in town recently, the guitarist from Genesis. Brilliant, good guitarist, lovely guy. And
you come up with some musical ideas and how to film them. Remember, it's got to be cheap. You know, and so I thought one of them would be, well, let's do A Hard Day's Night. It's black and white, it's speeded up like Benny Hill. 4 guys in tight trousers with pointy shoes and wigs running around a field, sorted. So I came up with this kind of Lisp song, like good, bad, happy, sad, and the middle eight was interesting. But I thought the whole thing was just as a platform, if you like, to do the parody of A Hard Day's Night. So when we met up, I said, I got this. He said, that's great, because I got this idea for a documentary maker who's so boring, the camera runs away from him. So these two things were put together in the Run the Weekend show. You see, Spool on Saturday Night Live, and they're already running the gag, you know, because Sid Bernstein is trying to get the Beatles back together again, offering them $20 million each and a killer whale as a pet. and getting George on there and waving $3,000 in cash, because that's the union rate for 4 musicians on Saturday Night Live in those days. And George was saying, oh, all of this for me. He said, no, you have to change it, you have to share it with the others. You know, maybe you don't have to tell Ringo. But these jokes were out there, you know. And so when they said, we got Eric to host the show on the premise that he said he could get the Beatles together for $300, you know, he started to get the joke and things like that. And then at the end, the last minute, he said, Ron has to come on and said, well, in fact, it was a bad phone line. You know, Eric hasn't got the Beatles back together, but he's got the Rutles. So they showed the clip from the BBC programme, Rutles Weekend Television, of the song and the camera running away. And then, bless, everybody wrote in and wanted to play in the same sampling, the same toys. And they said, no, let's have the Rutles, you know. And so Lorne said, well, we have to do the whole show. We have to do the whole story. And so he got the budget, you know, went downstairs for about 7 minutes and came back and away we were. And I remember it well, because I was sitting away from them all, getting all excited, and I was sitting on a windowsill because I knew at some point they were going to say, oh, we're going to need some more songs. Right. So it came, can you write 20 more Rutles songs for next Thursday lunchtime? So I said, I'll try. You know, and I got a following wind, and we did it. And I've never been involved in a project where everybody kind of knew what to do or had so much fun. And if ever there's a kind of pay the bank of fun, you know, we all got showered with notes of pay the bank of fun because everybody had fun on that project.
And for anybody who said, well, why are they slagging the Beatles? They don't like the Beatles? Did you not see George Harrison in the movie?
George was in it up to his neck. He really wanted to do this, you know. He was saying, no, it wasn't like that. It was like this, you know.
And do it this way.
Yes.
To see the people running out of Apple, what about theft? And they're running with typewriters.
Yeah. Well, we've got to put a stop to this bit of petty pilfering. And George was playing the television interview, and Michael Palin was playing Derek Taylor, the press agent, you know, trying to excuse it. Yeah.
Trying to explain it away. You want to play a little music? Perchance to dream, to play?
Well, we were sort of talking earlier about the sort of complexity of politics.
Yes.
Things like that. I have this song I wrote under conditions of extreme luxury in the Bahamas or Barbados, wherever it was.
So we have it's ukulele. It's ukulele. It's coming.
And anyway, it's kind of got a reggae feel, but I call it an old English Brexit lament. Let's face it, like it or not, each and every one of us should be as important as each other in a democracy. Even those who are helpless through no fault of their own, no serene. Just remember, they are our children, and they rely on us totally. In a democracy, oh yeah, we all have our crosses to bear. Let's face it, like it or not, each and every one of us should be as important as each other in a democracy. Even those who are no good at anything, no siree. Just remember, they are our leaders, and we fought for them foolishly. In a democracy, oh yeah, we all have our crosses to bear. Join with me, in a democracy, oh yeah, we all have our crosses to bear.
One of the funniest lines anybody has ever said on a stage, secret policeman's ball. And Neil walks out in the Elton John Tommy boots, the hair and the hat, and as Neil Young with a harmonica and a brace simply says, I suffered for my music, now it's your turn. No, we have more to go. We have more time. No, that's as funny a line as anyone's ever said.
I got it on a t-shirt if you want. It's only $19.99.
Yes, I'm buying one. Brilliant. That, along with the Rutles.
George pinched that for his book.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. But he did acknowledge, it's thanks Neil Innes and Eric Idle for their terrible jokes. That's not really an acknowledgement, George.
Yeah, sort of. That's the most backhanded compliment anyone can ever give you. How did you and George connect on a friendship level? How did that come about?
I don't know. When we did the Magical Mystery Tour, he was...
excuse me, the Bonzos were the band. If you ever saw Magical Mystery Tour, they're the band that's playing the club.
Yeah, it was strip club. And we never really got past that.
A highlight.
It was. No, he came up and said, I really like that song. It was called Death Cab for Cutie. For some reason, took it out.
That's the name of the band.
And I got the title when I was looking for these old 78s in the junk shops and the street markets. I found some magazines, and American true crime magazines. And this one, I looked at the two lurid kind of things on the front said, Death Cab for Cutie. And the other one said, it was a great party until somebody found a hammer.
That's another great song title.
I know, we did it. But the Beatles weren't interested in it. No, we did it in a kind of very Dada way. The band was like that. We got all these second-hand squashed brass instruments and stuff for nothing. And we handed out damaged trombones, euphoniums to a whole audience of people. And there was a kind of Dada. It's a fearful row. And Vivian was going, it was a great party until somebody found a hammer, yeah. It was crap, but it was exuberant crap.
Which is the most important.
Yeah.
Steve Winwood came up to the station this past year. He's touring, and I said to him, lyrics. I love Traffic. It's just the greatest thing for all of it. Spencer Davis, Traffic, Blind Faith, all of it. And I said, I never want to put people on the spot, but hippos don't wear hats, lobsters shriek with provoke. And he went, oh, Viv Stanshall wrote that. I should have known. Who else would write something that insane?
Actually, I forgotten about it. We did a 3-hour Radio 4 tribute to Viv. English was tuppence. And it popped into my head, I'd forgotten about it. And my quote is that he tossed the English language cold heads and won. No, he was just extraordinary. He loved words, he couldn't leave them alone. And in fact, sometimes with lyrics, he was like, that'll do it, you're not going to get it any better.
Right.
But right in the early days, when we'd be playing silly songs like Last Night on the Back Porch, he changed the lyrics on us. We'd be playing it, and he'd get up to do the vocal, and instead of singing Last Night on the Back Porch, he goes, if skirts get any shorter, said the flapper with a song, I'll have 2 more cheeks to powder and a lot more hair to bob.
And not telling you he's going to do
Yeah, I know, and of course we can't play for long.
Does anybody here know my favorite Bonzo song, which is a little thing called the intro and the outro? That is the Sgt. Pepper of the Bonzo world, if you
It was
will.
done on 4-track, 1 inch.
So you had to keep bouncing every
Bounce.
It's the entire thing is simply introducing the band.
Huge band.
It's a very big band. Adolf Hitler on vibes.
Looking very relaxed.
Nice.
Yes, nice one.
That's how far out the Bonzo dog gooed up. Where did the name was just, what's the silliest name?
It came out of a hat. Bonzo Dog was a cartoon character on postcards, naughty seaside postcards. A beautifully drawn, George Stay was the artist. And Dada the turn of the century anti-art movement. Well, it was started in 1916 because of the First World War. You know, they said, this can't go on, you know, and then they did a really strong anti-art movement. But not many people had heard of it. And Band was in there as well. So the three that came out was Bonzo Dog, Dada, Band. And that was what it was when we all rehearsed every Tuesday night at the Royal College of Art canteen. We were the Bonzo Dog Dada Band. But, you know, after a while I said, got tired of trying to explain what a turn of the century anti-art movement was, so we changed it to Doodah.
As the Camptown races,
yeah, and then we, for one reason or another, we stopped doing old things, largely because the New Vaudeville Band ripped us off completely.
Right.
When we turned down the offer to be the New Vaudeville Band.
Really?
Yeah.
You could have been with Chester
Trumpeter Bob Kerr, you know, who knew Jeff Stevens, who'd written it, and got a hit with it, but no band, it was session. And he said, Bob, you're out on the road with this crazy band, you know, do you want to be the New Vaudeville Band? So he came rushing in and said, we can be the New Vaudeville Band, we can be on top of the pops. And the rest of us went, why? Why? And he said, well, I'm going to do it. We said, well, off you go then, never darken our towels again. But the thing was that when they appeared on television, they looked exactly like us, the singer in a lame suit, the musicians in sort of pinstripe gangster suits with terrible ties. Here's a competition for finding the best tie. Anyway, two-tone shoes and cardboard cut out, you know, for speaking, but saying, wow, I'm really expressing myself. And that was all on television, so wherever we went, people said, oh, you like that New Vaudeville Band? That's, yeah, and we suddenly went, oh. And then Larry Smith, our drummer and tap dancer, said, why don't we do any kind of music? We thought, well, that's the only way. We'll dress it, wear what we like, do what we like, any kind of music. And that really, we wouldn't have started writing songs if that hadn't happened. So it's like, one thing turns into another.
Right, we don't get the Urban Spaceman if you had gone on.
No.
Right, we never would have gotten. One of my favorite songs in the time. Speaking of songs, as the clock is winding down, maybe we get another song from you, Mr. Ennis. We have 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Can I bring Ken on?
Yes. Ken. Ken, come, Ken. Ken, sit here. Ken, sit here. Slide over here. Oh, okay. You have a pick. You need a pick.
Yeah, we were just, songs are what they are, and they should be about what we are. And this is a song I wrote before, well, let's put it this way, it's about absent friends. It's about absent friends, this song. And some of us had yesterday that very lovely lady called Nicole with the Yellow Submorons. No, I know, and she was vivacious and lovely, but she's decided to go somewhere else. And so we'd like to dedicate this song to her. Okay, I haven't played this much, but I think we should do it.
Please.
For everyone who, you know, who can't be here tonight. Okay? Whoa, yeah, can we have a little balance maybe?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Can we hear?
Can I hear me? Little monitor. Okay. Lovely. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Telephone rings, you pick it up, you say hello, hello, this is an old friend, how are you? I'm fine, you say how are you? There's a little awkward small talk and then the bad news. Have you heard So-and-so caught the big one just like that. It was out of the blue. You wanna know how bad? Just a matter of time is the clinical view. Oh my, nobody wants to die, but it can hit you right between the eyes when you're talking about friends at the end of the line. You put the phone down thinking, oh God, not another, and close your tears. You selfishly begin to count up all the loved ones you have lost over the years. You try to picture their faces while there's something going on in the place where your stomach used to be. And then you realize it's the oldest and the coldest fear ever known to humanity. Fallen fruit must decompose. Feed the bugs and busy those who squirm around in the graveyard pub. Empty bedpans and wash away the blood. Oh my, nobody wants to die, but it can hit you right between the eyes when you're talking about friends at the end of the line. On a cold and sunny late November day, you walk around under clear blue skies. Pick some leaves, sniff the bonfire smoke, and attempt to philosophize. How'd it be when it's your turn to go? Will you find a few famous last words to say? Or will you simply fall asleep, knowing nothing in the universe ever really goes away? Nobody wants to die, but it can hit you right between the eyes when you're talking about friends at the end of the line. Here come all the suns, here comes all the light, everything and nothing in one sweet kiss goodnight. Everything and nothing, all creatures, great and small. Everything and nothing, God bless us all. Worn out shoes and rusty cars, we alone the stuff of stars. Subatomic, carbon waste, everything is made in space, as it was before your birth. Nothing lasts forever on earth. Oh my, nobody wants to die, but it can hit you right between the eyes when you're talking about friends at the end of the line. When you're talking about friends at the end of the line. When you're talking about friends at the end of the line.
Wow, gorgeous. Real brilliant. Thank you, Ken. No, let's. You can walk off the stage and we can make things like come on, do an encore, but we're not doing that. We're much too old for that.
Hey, that's French, I know that.
Certainly. Which, of course, perhaps something Rutilian? Something Rutilian? I just made up that word. Or perhaps
Do you want Brave Sir Robin?
I suggested Brave Sir Robin. Neil, it's perfection. It's perfection. I'm laughing, and the man hasn't even put the guitar on his neck yet. Smoke on the water. Good suggestion.
Actually, I know it's lame, but it's just a bit tacky, a bit bright. I couldn't tune this bit. Very difficult, tuning guitar and telling jokes, but it happened to me once at B.B. King's. And I put this old Abbott and Costello joke came in my head. Once upon a time, there were two Irishmen. Now, oh, I'm running the wrong way. I'm professional, trust me. Now look how many there are. Stay with it, don't you? Okay, by popular demand then.
Ken's demand and yours. Yes. How dare you, sir?
Just look knowledgeable. Hang on, that's nice.
I can take my pants off, but we don't want to go that way.
On second thoughts, we don't know.
No.
Bravely bold Sir Robin rode forth from Camelot. He was not afraid to die, oh brave Sir Robin.
Everybody.
He was not at all afraid to be killed in nasty ways. Brave Sir Robin. He was not in the least bit scared to be mashed into a pulp, or to have his eyes gouged out and his elbows broken, to have his kneecaps split and his body burnt away, and his limbs all hacked and mangled. Brave Sir Robin. His head smashed and his heart cut out, and his liver removed, and his bowels unplugged, and his nostrils raked, and his bottom burnt up, his penis filled with a thing. But you get the idea.
That's spectacular.
I have to tell you that, a year or so ago, some friends, a friend told me they'd got friends researching a book on Elvis Presley. And it turns out that Monty Python and the Holy Grail was his favourite of all-time films. Yeah, and he knew every word, and he could do all the voices.
Really?
Yeah. So that makes me one of the few people on the planet to have been impersonated by Elvis Presley.
Mr. Neil Innes.
Have you ever had one of those days?
Neil Innes, Ken, thank you so much. Welcome, sir. Will you be around this weekend? Are you going to be outside? Will you be outside? Neil will be outside to sign and whatever. And, for those, we have many new people. This is their first year at the fest. Do we have all our newbies with us? How many people first year, first time? This is just wonderful. This is how it goes. It don't really end. It just keeps going. There's more music. There's a jam session. Mark Rivera's coming out later. Please stick around. We have more for you. Once again, Neil Innes.